Hello, welcome back to the episode of Runabout. I'm your host, Seth Moore. We're here to break down the race that wrapped up a couple minutes ago, about half an hour. It was the XPEL 225 from Truck Series at Circuit of the Americas. Connor Zilisch was on the pole, and there's a lot of hype around with that guy. People thought, okay, if he stays out front, he's just going to dominate, because I don't know what he had I think he was running like 1 or 2 seconds faster in practice. He was just lights out faster, which he should be. He's a road course specialist. He's very good at road courses. Wants to get work up his rankings. He has a Rolex 24. I think he just won the Sebring 12 hours of Sebring like last week or something. So he's a very, very good road racer. But as race began, they come in like 3 wide. It's a new restart zone, and he just blows the turn 1. Just completely, and it flat spots some of his tires, and that just kind of ruined it. It didn't ruin his race completely, as we'll get into it, but it really set his race back. And then it was kind of a battle between Corey Heim, Nick Sanchez, Taylor Gray. It was kind of a race. It was pretty tame. We had a debris caution on lap 4. They cleaned that up. They came back and restarted, and we had just a lot of stuff going on. Trucks getting ran over, running into each other. There was a lot of penalties cutting the course. You couldn't have all 4 tires below the kind of rumble strips. It was weird. Certain areas you could have all 4 under, and some areas you haven't. So it was a little confusing there. But a lot of top guys got hit with that. But then we ended with stage 1 with Corey Heim pit early because he was up front. So he was not going to go for stage point. He was going for the win, which he should, because he had a fast truck. Which that led to Nick Sanchez taking home stage 1. He only led 4 laps in this race. He got shuffled back because he also had track limits, penalties, and stuff like that. Restarted about racing. Same thing. Corey Heim was leading. And there was a time there where Connor Zilisch was struggling. I forget what exactly it was, but he had a mechanical issue that they did fix, which he ended up coming 1 lap down. But due to a couple of cautions, like the 33 stopping on track on lap 23, that helped him get back his lap. And also, these stage cautions, I think, hurt it. They definitely hurt this race. It also slows the race down. The race doesn't really get a good flow. So I would say I'm not a fan of stage cautions. And also, they adjusted the restart zone. But that affected it. And Corey Heim was dominant guy all day. When he was up front, it was hard to beat. And the only other guy I felt like I could really get to Corey Heim in this race was Connor Zilisch, but he was fighting back. But we did see Taylor Gray, Ty Majeski get up there. But due to that 33 getting stopped on track and leading to a caution, that's what led them to pit after that caution. And that's also what allowed them to then, Corey Heim, to stay out front and also win that stage and keep his track position, because his tires weren't going to be as worn, so he was going to be in a good position there. So that's what led Corey Heim to winning stage 2. They restarted. Corey Heim took the lead. Same day, Ty Majeski, Taylor Gray up there. Lots of jostling for the leads. Lots of cars getting spun out, getting banged up. But also, Connor Zilisch was able to get back up front. I think there was a couple of times where he was inside the top 20, but I know he got hit from behind, spun out, and also he got a penalty. He cut the course a little too much. So that we saw a lot of that, and that's what really hurt. I think Connor Zilisch was really putting a lot of pressure on himself and really trying to do too much, because he knew he was behind. And I think he had a fast truck, but he was just making too many mistakes. By the times he did get in position there, with 39 laps to go, we had a caution. 33 was stopped and stalled on track. That's what made it really interesting. Connor Zilisch was able to get back up in the track position. He was got up to around 4th at that time, but his truck, I don't know, he had contact with Ty Majeski, which really cost him. He wanted to go pit. Ty was beat up, and that was going to make it interesting, because we had a majority of people stayed out, but some people did pit to see, especially with Connor Zilisch showing how fast his truck was. A lot of people were interested to see if maybe he could have jump some spots in 2 to 3 laps. It's a 3.4 mile long track, so it was interesting to see there. But the restart, and pretty much Corey Heim took the lead, and he was so good. And Connor Zilisch, who I'm already going off of, really didn't gain as much. Ty Majeski was nothing there. Taylor Gray was nothing for them, and that's how it looked like it was going to be. But then coming to the white, we had a caution. I mean, Corey Heim was about 1 turn away from taking the white flag in this race being official. But the caution was for some of the wildest things. The 04, which was Marco Andretti, spun out, but he lost his entire rear housing. Axles, transaxle, the whole shebang back there. Both tires were still in the car, but the whole transaxle came off. Talking about driving the wheels off it, he full out drove the wheels off. It was a weird replay. It just looks like something broke, and the whole thing just came off. So we had like a little red flag for a couple of minutes because they had to get this rear hassle like a towed on the track. It was also really heavy, so that was really weird. It was odd, just broke. Something just really stinks. Marco Andretti, who is an experienced road racer, probably didn't really enjoy his race. Probably he wasn't running that competitive. So that stinks for him. But after that, we come into this final restart, and there was a lot of worries with Taylor Gray, Corey Heim, and Ty Majeski. They were all lower on fuel. We didn't know if they were going to make it. I think Taylor Gray was the closest. He may only had 2 to 3 laps left. Corey Heim was also. But also that was like, ooh, Connor Zilisch is here. He's back. Was a lap down this race. Spun out. Penalties. Was in the regroup. Is this his chance? He's the better road racer probably, and also has the better tires. And those 3 guys up there are going to be trying to save their fuel. The restart, but Corey Heim took the lead. It was really just a battle between really who ran out of gas. Was anyone ran out of gas? Because no one was catching Corey Heim. Connor Zilisch wasn't really making as much ground as I would have thought. It's really just ended up being allowing Corey Heim to take the lead and taking home the W. Corey Heim took home the win of the XPEL 225 at Kona. It was Taylor Gray second, Ty Majeski third, and Connor Zilisch fourth. Overall, the race was fine. It's a great recovery for Connor Zilisch, as it was an up and down day. I really think he put himself in this situation. If he never blew that tire and just was up front and kept his track position, he wouldn't have to worry about being in this situation. Even though some of the things that happened, he made a lot of mistakes cutting the course, but also he got ran into other guys. But also, that's what happens when you're in the back half of the field with guys race a lot more aggressive and not as respectful. That's what's going to happen. So, overall, I thought it was a fine race. The broadcast, I wasn't a big fan of broadcasts. They just don't do a good job. They're missing things. There's a lot of spins I felt like they missed. But it is what it is. We look at our top 10. Corey Heim first, Taylor Gray second, Ty Majeski third, Connor Zilisch fourth, Ross Chastain fifth, Jack Hawksworth sixth, seventh, Ben Rhodes, eighth, Chris Eckes, ninth, Dean Thompson, 10th, Taylor Gray. Congrats to Ross Chastain getting a top 5 in the Nice Motorsports truck. And congrats to Corey Heim again. I think last year he really put a lot of effort. I think he finished 6th, had some mistakes last year's race, but then fixed those mistakes and really came out and it really, schooled the field. It really showcased his road racing talent. So overall, congrats to him. I'm going to put this race on the Rolly rate. Give it a 4.4. Solid. It's okay race, but nothing as exciting. The only exciting part when the restarts, after that, it really just got really strung out. We didn't see as much competition for the lead up front because, Corey Heim dominated this race, like 31 laps. But overall, fine race. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay tuned to my Xfinity Series preview. Goodbye.